Alright, welcome everyone to Minecraft. No, it's not going to be that boring of a video. So, if you've read the title, you know that this is about a certain thing that makes Minecraft look like this and turns it into something very awesome like this. Amazing, I know, right? It's just the best thing ever. Now, you might be wondering, yeah, this has been out for a while, so why are you showing it now? Like, I've seen you do it in a couple of your videos, you got cool shaders. That's cool and all. Well, this is a brand new version from the Sonic Ether's Unbelievable Shaders. This is version 11.0. Now, the last version I used was 10.1 or something like that. I haven't been using shaders lately because the last time I used it was on my laptop when I recorded off of that. So I guess the file didn't transfer in the right spot or something, so I just haven't been using it. And then I started using it again recently, and I've noticed a lot of changes. So I'm just going to showcase the Sonic Ether's Unbelievable Shaders 11.0. I'm going to turn off my GUI, and yeah, we will take a look. So one of the first noticeable differences I saw when I first turned it on was the water was way different. Before, it just had like a top layer, somewhat in the depths, kind of almost retexturing, relighting something. It wasn't, it was more water-like, but it wasn't the best it could be. Now, as you can see, it actually has the light rippling down into the depths, and as you get closer, basically, as you get closer to the shore, it starts to get lighter and lighter and lighter, and you can see things more clearly underneath it. And then vice versa, as you go down deeper, 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 it gets darker and darker, and then it gets to a point where you just barely can see the bottom, like real water would. So that is one of the most noticeable differences. And then I decided to take a jump in the water. So as you can see, we're up here in the light. We jump down, boom. Just like the lighting would happen if you had jumped in real life. You can barely see anything for a second, and then your vision starts to get used to it, and you can, once again, somewhat see, but it's still very dark. And up above, you've got everything all blurred out. It's, you know, you can kind of see what everything is. You know, if you go over here, you're going to run into the pier or whatnot. And then you come out. There you go. That's what I was trying to get it to do. I don't know what was different in the custom settings, but apparently a lot. So, if you go down with custom settings on, I guess it might depend on your PC on how it will work. But if you go down, you come up, boom! Just like if you were to come out at the lake or the ocean or something, and you're down deep, looking in the deep blue sea, and then you come out into the nice, bright, sunny sky, it would almost blind you. So, enough with the water. Now we're going to start looking at, you know, I've got a shadow now, and everything else has a shadow. You've got the nice, you know, it's not going to be all bright under here. It's going to have some type of shadow being cast. We come over here to the house, and we've got a nice homey feel. If you have, like, these are stairs up here, so if the light comes through the corners, that will kind of happen, but still looks nice. And we have glass. Glass is all wavy now. Well, these are glass panes, and if you notice, I only have stained glass. That's the only glass that actually does this. If you have normal glass, per se, it looks... Let me clear the weather, because I'm going to show you guys something with that later. Weather clear. But if you notice, it doesn't actually do it. And it's not because it's not a pane. The blocks do the wavy thing as well, but the normal glass doesn't do it for some reason. So if you're in survival, playing with shaders, just get a bunch of bone meal and stain your glass white, and you'll have really cool looking windows, or any other color. And as you can see, I have been auto jumping, and that means I'm on 1.10. Yes, 1.10. And you're also wondering, is this a mod? No. No, it's not. The only thing that is a mod is Optifine. As you can see, I have Optifine installed up here for 1.10, and that is it. Optifine is there, and then the only other thing is the shaders folder. As we come out here into the sunset, you can see it's got a nice soft glow. It gradually decreases and starts to go away. and it's just very, very nice. If you want a nice cinematic wallpaper, or you want to make a cinematic, I guess, movie or something along those lines, you can get shaders. And the only thing that's weird is the sun still gets outlined. I don't know why that is, but it does, so keep that in mind. But other than that, it still looks very, very nice. And here we are coming into the night. Let me wait till it gets a bit darker, and I will show you guys what it looks like when it gets really, really dark. So it has gotten very, very dark. Not as dark as you might think, but it is realistically dark. And as the moon gets above the trees, we'll start having moon rays come down, and we'll be able to see a bit clearer as well. But we have our pier here. These are the new end rods. They emit light, so you've got a nice soft glow. We come over here. The torches emit a very, very nice glow. And the fire does as well, and everything's nice and homey looking. You can just get on in and hunker on down and go crazy. Let's not sleep the whole night through, though, because I still have stuff to show you guys, like the moon. So as you can see over there, as the moon is rising, you're actually getting a nice moon ray lighting going on. So it's not like the harsh sun. It is very nice, cool, bluish white kind of tint to it. And as it rises, the shadows will dissipate slowly. They won't just, you know, zoom on through. Just as the moon rises, these will dissipate, and you'll get a nice looking night. So let's take a bit of a stroll through the woods. Just to show you guys what it looks like when you're walking through the woods here. You know, got the moon out, giving you the only light that you have at all. And it just looks very, very realistic. Now let me turn the time to daytime, set day. And one thing that is another cool feature is wind. Now you don't actually like, I don't think you're affected by the wind. I don't know if you have a cape, if it's actually affected at all. We have a burning zombie over there. But as you can see, the flowers are blowing, the leaves are blowing, the grass is blowing. Now one weird thing is that tall grass, or any tall vegetation, does not actually wave. I don't know if that's going to be later, or if it's just those are expected to be sturdier or something, but I would expect the tall grass to still be waving. So, I don't know, maybe in future updates it will eventually wave around. Here's a cave. Let's go check out a cave with shaders on. Now, as you can see, it is very, very dark down here. You can still see a little bit, but it's still very dark. Well, the nice thing is about having Optifine installed is that this version allows for when you hold a torch, it will emit light. So, you can just walk around with a nice glow that shaders is giving you, and it'll feel real. And once you switch off, it's all dark again, like you're actually mining. Now with 1.10, you've got the offset hand, so you can always be holding a torch, even when you're not actually holding it. So there we go. I can zoom on through my inventory, and I'm always holding a torch. So that would be a very cool cinematic feature. Mobs' eyes that actually glow will glow. So as you can see, oh, get back here, Mr. Spider. As you can see, the spider's eyes glow, and then Enderman's will glow, and that way you know when you're about to get jumped. Alright guys, so I teleported away to a more wide open space so that you guys can see what it looks like in a wide open area. No, not a whole lot of trees around. We got a forest over here so you can see what it looks like at a distance. You got the water still. But on a more open plain, this is kind of what it looks like. It still looks very nice. It's not overpowering at all. You know, it looks real. And I haven't mentioned the clouds, but I mean, those are kind of self-explanatory that they're cool. Now, one thing is that you can't have the normal clouds on. Oh, okay, here it is. So, if I turn the clouds on to default, or actually, no, fancy, okay. As you can see, it's not actually texturing the clouds themselves. It's got its own fancy cloud thing, so if you have your clouds on, you'll have, like, double layer clouds. You'll have the really ugly, nasty looking ones, and you have the really nice ones. So just go into your options, go into video settings, go into details, and turn the clouds off, and you'll have a nice looking sky. Now, another thing I'd like to show you while we're out here is rain. So if we do weather, rain, you'll see the sky starts to close over, becomes overcast. If it's daytime, it'll still be semi-bright, but you have the nice overcast, and the rain starts falling, and look, the water starts to wet the ground, and the ground becomes more reflective, as it would in real life. And as you can see, we got the nice reflection down there. It's just an all, and oh, yep, the wind picks up. Wind picks up very nicely. It's not a giant tornado-ish wind, but the leaves start to blow harder, the grass starts to blow harder, and everything gets a glossy look to it. And also, another thing to note is it's not just all a flat glossiness. It is variated in random locations. It's probably got a random filter attached to it so that it's not all just one nice glass slate type look. It's splotched like rain would do, and again, real life. We look at the rocks over here, they're getting a nice wet look to them. And let's just kind of fly around. And if you go underneath something, it's not glossy. As you can see, it is not glossy. So it recognizes when a block is underneath an overhang. One bug, though, is that if you have a roof made of glass and it starts raining, the inside of your house will look like it's wet. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just, you know, the way it recognizes what's what, but just keep in mind if you do have a roof made of glass and it rains, your floor will look wet. So, last thing with rain, let's turn it off, so weather clear, and watch all this very closely. Just watch. I'm just going to leave it, and you guys can watch and see for yourselves what it does. Alright, so as you can see, it's starting to dissipate slowly. Right? Like over by those flowers, it's starting to dissipate very slowly, very water-like. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's acting like it's actually having to evaporate away. It's not just instantaneously disappearing. It is slowly going away. So I just thought that was another cool feature with the rain, and as you can see, it's still kind of splotchy around, so it acts like it's still wet in certain areas, like it just rained. So, as you walk around after rain, you will still see some dark patches, some light patches, and it won't just all be back to the same texture. Now, over time, it will all eventually get back to the same texture, but right after a rain, it will be a more realistic feel. Now, onto the Nether. First off, before we go in, I just want to show you guys the portal on how if you're on the side that is where the sun's coming through, it has a very nice hue to it. It is glassy and kind of watery-like, so I think it's the same type of shading the water gets, just slightly varianted. And if you're on this side, it is very glass-like. So if you're trying to do a cinematic, make sure you're on the side that the sun is coming through to and not on the side that the sun is hitting. So let's just hop on through. And here we have the Nether. Now, I know it looks very dark. It's supposed to. It's the Nether, you know, it's a dark place. It's labeled as hell, so I mean, you know, it's supposed to be a very dark environment. One thing to note, night vision does not work with shaders, so shaders will negate the night vision and it will still look exactly like this. So don't bother using night vision. If you really want to use it, you'll have to turn off shaders. So that's one downside. I get the reasoning for it, and you guys should too, because it actually makes it seem realistic. So as we just walk around, the lava is very, very bright. The new blocks are glowing very nicely. Let's look over here. We got some new blocks, see glow. Nice little glows. And everything just looks very, very real. Alright, so let's hop on back through, and I'm going to show you guys one more thing. Alright, so the last thing I wanted to show you was compatibility with texture packs. There is one texture pack that is recommended to use with this. Let me time set, okay? Okay, anyway, so the texture pack that is recommended is not currently at 1.10, so you can use it on 1.9 and below, but I can't show you it right now because 1.10 is not supported by the texture pack. It is called Chroma Hills. I will leave a link in the description, but it is the texture pack that the creator of Sonic Ethers actually recommends to use. But I'm going to show you one of the most popular ones and one of my personal favorites, and you guys can just see, you know, what things look like. So I'm gonna kind of set up this scene, and you guys will be able to see the difference when I switch. Alright, so if you don't know what texture pack this is the Spax texture pack. I am using a 32 by 32 because anything above that is really unnecessary. If you really want to go to 128 by 128 or even the 512 by 512, which I currently can't support, go for it. You know, be my guest. But 32 by 32 is basically really the highest you need to go, honestly. Because it's still Minecraft. It's not supposed to look completely real. That's kind of ironic since I'm showing this to show you how real Minecraft can actually look. Anyway, so as you can see, the textures work nicely. If we go over to these trees here, the textures stay together very nicely. They don't, you know, break apart all that easily. Sometimes on servers, you can kind of notice the leaves actually breaking apart, like right here. You can kind of notice the divisions happening. I don't know if that's just with the texture pack or if that's just a normal thing. I'm pretty sure I've noticed it with just normal default textures, so I think it's just a thing with textures, honestly. So the water does stay the same, but everything else is just like the texture pack. All nice, and everything bounces off very, very well. Oh, that's another cool feature, is that the windows actually, you know, emit those little dots you see everywhere and stuff. That's cool. Alright, now I'm going to show you one of my personal favorites that I use, and then we will end off the video. Alright, so this is my personal favorite texture pack whenever I do use a texture pack. It's called Faithful, and the reason I like it is because it takes Minecraft and it just tweaks it just a little bit so that it still has the same kind of look, but it's a bit more refined and not as very pixelated. So it still has that pixelated-ish look, but it's not as bad as what it was before. So as we can see here, the trees, once again, still knitted very nicely. Nothing is overly noticeable, and it all just overall looks the exact same. Inside, all looks good, and everything is great. So any texture pack you use should work okay. If you do run into one that has problems, I would suggest letting the developer of either the resource pack know so that maybe he can tweak it, or let the creator of Sonic Ethers know so that maybe he can do something about it. But that is it for this video. I hope you all have enjoyed, and you want to use these shaders now forever and forever and forever. So if you all did enjoy this video, and you want the shaders for yourself, I will have the download links in the descriptions, and I should have a installation video coming up after this, or at the exact same time, so you guys can download it, and then just follow along the instructional video and get this for yourselves. And you can play on servers, you can play on single player, multiplayer, you know, whatever you want to do, because with Optifine, everything should be supported on a server. So, go have a ball, and I will see you all next time.